Hey folks, it's Lindsey Hellison with SPS back in the building over at the Derrick Coleman DC Elite Summer League Day 1. We got some great folks coming through. I've got a great surprise for you right now. The young man I want to introduce and remind people of, Mr. Darrin Boomer Williams.
Thank you, sir.
Yep,
Thank you for having
CEO
me.
and founder of Embassy International. But before we talk about this global stage for global talent organization you have, we want to talk about your story. I was just amazed. The big fella Derrick said, "Hey man, you got to sit down with Boomer." You are a Osborne High School graduate.
I am.
But from Osborne, you were able to make your way to have some NBA type experiences, go around the world with an international company. So just tell us your story so we can get an understanding of what you've done and what you're going to keep doing.
Beautiful. Very quickly, my name is Darrin Boomer Williams. I'm the CEO and founder of Embassy International. We're a Sicilian-based organization that help athletes get international opportunities overseas.
So gangster. You said Sicilian-based.
I got to. They're my guys. They're my guys. Speak a little Italian.
Yeah.
But at the same token, we help athletes transition from being as a player and going into business internationally, because 100% of all athletes, we stop playing at some time.
100%.
And so,
that's a real step.
Exactly. And God really put me in a position to learn a lot about financial literacy, getting certified with personal finance, creating new businesses, but showing the players how to leverage their previous athletic experience so they can profit from the rest of their lives.
So I've been a great player. There's still more I can use to do things.
It is a world of opportunities that we are not tapped into as athletes.
I get it. So talk about coming from Osborne. You know, Osborne has not been known as being a powerhouse school in basketball, but for you still to be able to have that experience. Talk about what it was like playing there and your college experience with the Loyola. Hence the burgundy you got on
yeah,
right now, right?
I got to shout out to the Loyola University of Chicago Ramblers. Go Ramblers, go Ramblers. So I played at Detroit Osborne. I started very late. I started playing basketball 15, 16 years old.
Were you this size?
I was a little bit shorter. I was just catching growth spurts, but my coach was always on me. His name was Greg Jordan.
Okay.
And so he played for the Poors back in the day, won championships back in the 70s and everything. So he had that championship spirit mentality that he put on us as players. And so he got me in the gym, and I was terrible. I was, shout out to Willie Burton. Willie Burton came and spoke to me and was like, listen, man, him and David Greenwood, they're like, this ball can take you around the globe, and everything just switched in my mind. Put a lot of work in. Only played 2 years of varsity basketball. I wasn't super on the radar, but when I played AAU and traveled the country playing with the Michigan Mustangs, it really brought a lot of attention to me as a player. And as a result, some of the guys that's in the NBA right now are some of the guys I played with previously. So like you said, Josh Smith, this was Al Horford, this was Drew Nysel, this is Dwight Howard, Zach Morris. Remember him from Kentucky. But I had Joakim Noah. Joakim Noah.
Oh, sure.
And so I had some stellar games with and against these guys, and it just brought attention, and I ended up receiving an athletic scholarship to Loyola University in Chicago.
Yeah, shout out to the current coach now, Drew Valentine. He was on the podcast not too long ago.
Okay, beautiful.
So I guess I want to stay with that theme of coming where you're from, and you present yourself so well professionally just in our brief encounter. I'm sure, are some people surprised that you're from Detroit?
Exactly. So what I find is, so I live both on West Side and East Side. So West Side is like Joy Road, Greenfield area.
Yes,
on East Side is like 7 Mile and Hoover area. So I got a good dose of the city's culture very early in my life. But what I find out is this: it don't matter where you are around the world. If you're from Detroit, you're my brother. Don't matter if you're from the East or you from the West. When I got teammates and I meet up with them, and if I'm in Hawaii, if I'm in South America, I just got back from Uruguay. If I'm reaching out and I meet people that's in Italy, but they from Detroit, they're my brothers.
Connect with you.
It's a spiritual connection, because where we from, our environment is not necessarily designed to tear us down or kill us. It's basically the dirt. It's basically the mud. You understand? Right. But when we come out the mud, man, we come out as beautiful as roses. We've been through so much, so we can go anywhere around the world and dominate.
I think it's good for people to hear that who are just here to know that they will have recognition internationally. And I guess the only reason I just stay on that point because it seems that when people's hoop dreams don't come true, so many people we lose out to, they kind of go into obscurity. But you are having a great, professional experience. Talk about the transition of you deciding that I'm going to keep pushing forward as opposed to, hey, it didn't happen the way I wanted. You even talked about your NBA experience. Talk about that a little bit, the folks that you were working with that were NBA transitioning and all that.
Exactly. So at Loyola, pretty loud. At Loyola, like I said, I wasn't this superstar athlete. I was probably a star on the team, but nationally, I didn't receive a lot of recognition. But I had a trainer. His name was Enver Poljak, and he trained me privately, but he was a professional scout for the Indiana Pacers.
Okay.
So once I graduated, I automatically was tied in with the Boston Celtics, with the Indiana Pacers, with the Chicago Bulls. And just through his connection, he granted me access to have agent representation by a guy named Mike Nadich. And Mike Nadich represented about 10 to 12 guys in the NBA, but he represented me. From that alone, just based off the relationships, I was able to work with Tim Grover. Tim Grover is Jordan's trainer. Attack Athletics. Now I'm in the building training with Tracy McGrady. This is Gilbert Arenas. This is Dwayne Wade. This is Andre Iguodala.
Now, I know you're a ball player,
guys.
and you're from the city.
Yes,
so
sir.
Were you a little starstruck when you got in those spaces with those guys?
I was, but I kind of kept my composure because I was like, man, I come from the east side of Detroit, west side of Detroit. I'm here. And I'm training with NBA greats that they look at as all-stars. These are Hall of Famers now. But I'm on the same floor with these guys. All praises to God for that.
And you as if you're reading my mind, and we're just meeting, what is giving you such grace? Because it seems like you have the grace to move in spaces. And again, we're just meeting. But am I accurate in my assessment?
I believe so. I think that everything that happens to us, it actually happens for us. What I did not tell you is I started playing basketball late. This is like 15, 16 years old. And so
by that time, the training's already gone.
The training's already moving. So I'm competing with guys who've been playing since they were 6, 7, 8 years old. And I'm trying to learn. My body is growing. I tore my ACL the last game of my senior year playing against Kettering High School. And I had about 30 scholarships, and I lost them all. So very quickly, I understood that this was business, but this was out of my control. And so I had to fight depression. I had to see players that I played with go to these mega universities. I saw Division I universities that gave me interest, and they stopped calling me. And so instantly, with the help of my father, we already established mentally that, man, we're just going to use the game for as long as we can use it. And I discovered that this basketball game is special. All it is a tool. The players, they have this in their mind that they're going to make the NBA, and which is great because they can. But at the same token, a very small percentage or a few, only 4,500 players in 75 years has ever played in the NBA.
Let's repeat that. 4,500
75
years of the NBA.
In 75 years of the NBA, only 4,500 plus has ever played in the NBA. So even if you have the skill and ability to do so, there's a great chance that you might not because there's not enough spots available.
And that has nothing to do with you.
Has nothing to do with you. That's just the odds and the numbers. So after leaving Loyola and training with the NBA, having NBA workouts, having the skills and the abilities, but I didn't make it to that level, went overseas. I played 10 years overseas. I won some championships, had some all-star recognition.
What were some of the countries you were in?
Italy and Sicily, which they're the same, but they're not.
Okay.
It's not the same,
okay.
right?
Not the same.
It's like if you're from Detroit, you say I'm from East, I'm from West. Like it's the
Oh,
same Detroit,
I
but it's like a
understand.
difference.
Yeah.
So Italy and Sicily, I played in Germany. I played in Kosovo. I played in Uruguay. I had my first international experiences in Costa Rica and Guatemala, and that really opened my eyes too. And what I did was when I played at these different countries, I just went to all of the surrounding countries and started building networks.
Yeah.
And so that allowed me to turn 4 or 5 different countries playing in, and now I'm going to 26, 27.
Well, how do you build those networks when you talk about what would that be like?
So, for example, it takes faith. It takes great faith to be in this game because you would think that the odds are against you, but you're using a gift that God has given you as a gift back to the Creator, what you do with your gift. And so it's my obligation that if you're going to take me from the east side of Detroit and you're going to put me in Italy and Sicily, or you're going to put me in Germany, I'm going to all the countries around it. I got to. Because I know this game will end for me, but my transition is going to be flawless. I had an end goal in mind already.
Yeah, my transition is going to be flawless.
It's going to be flawless.
I love it.
Thank you.
So talk about the transition that you had where you made your way up with Embassy International. Let's talk about the name to begin with.
So embassy is the original word of embassy. Embassy is a defunct word. It is not in existence anymore. When we hear ambassador or embassy, the original word was actually embassy.
Embassy, okay.
And embassy, as you know, is basically owning foreign territories in another land. So if we're in the United States and we go to the United Kingdom, there will be a U.S. embassy in the United Kingdom because that's land that we own from the United States.
Sure.
And so I had this concept as basketball players, we are ambassadors in sports from the United States. And so when we go to China, when we go to Australia, when we go to Italy, and we take it over, that becomes ours now.
Sure.
And now we can take our previous athletic experience and return back to all of these places that we played and financially profit until we're not physical anymore. And so that was my overall goal. So now
I won't miss that. I'm not gonna miss that last part. You said until we're not physical anymore. You're saying the profit for your entire life.
This is for the rest of your life.
I heard that.
Every year for the rest of your life.
Wow. So it seems some people can get the story where they drink a cup of coffee in the NBA. They've had their experience, unlike a Derrick Coleman who was in there for a long time, and that would be their story. You seem to have taken getting access to that experience, and like a true Detroiter, made it into something that's probably benefiting you more than what a cup of coffee in the NBA would have had.
This is no bragging. Like I give all praises to God because I didn't know why I was getting stranded overseas. I didn't know why they weren't paying me on time. I didn't know why I had issues with organizations there, in different countries, which happens because this is a sport. You understand?
It's a business too.
It's a true business. It's a business where everyone capitalizes off the players. But very, very much so, players do not know how to capitalize off themselves. All that they have is just ideas that I can play. But while you're playing, you can go to these other avenues financially that will allow you to profit more off the court than on the court. And so it won't matter what they pay you now because I'm going to come here. You can pay me a few hundred or a few grand, but I'm going to do businesses with businesses that you do business with, and I'm going to make more from them than what you ever pay me. So,
what was it like for those who may have caught on to you?
Yeah.
That may have watched you and say, this guy is a little different. Did you get support? You get challenged? Was there a mixture of that? You follow what I'm saying?
You know what? I don't like to speak. I don't like to speak bad, but I feel that I had the support from the right people. When you can do great things for other people, you will have their support because they receive some sort of incentive just by, let's say that you own this radio station, right? Internet radio, and you got video. Well, you might see someone who try to get extra close to you not because they want to have an interest in you, because they see what you're doing in your platform and they can capitalize off of that. Sometimes they know it, sometimes they do know it. You understand? Sometimes they know it, sometimes they really don't know it.
Yeah.
But you have to evaluate who's there for you, who's not really there for you. And at basketball, as you can see, you have a guy out here that's doing 360 windmills. I guarantee you he's going to attract everyone in here, but everyone here won't have his best interest. And so for those of you guys that are watching this, please use this game as a tool. Use it to exponentially learn more about yourself, discover who you are. If your basketball will reveal if you are an on-time person or not. Basketball will reveal if your teammate is on the floor, will you help them up or will you step over, or have disrespect towards your enemy on the court. Basketball is going to reveal all of the characteristics inside of you because as a professional scout, when I look at a player and I can see if he's selfish, I can see if he defends his teammate, I can see if he makes the extra pass, that is who he is in real life. Yeah. And that's the beauty of basketball. You can see it all in real time.
Reveals it all.
Wow. In real time.
And you make me want to get out here and run up and down with some of these young cats. I'm ready, man. Talking to Boomer. Boomer got me straight. I had an ACL too. I'm going to do it, though.
You know it. You know how it is.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing you say, and I guess it really brings to about what we were talking about, the game we love, we can't have it as long as we want it. And it was my fight. Derrick was laughing at me a year ago when I blew out my ACL because I had to stop playing, but it brought me closer to this work and brings me closer here. So it still keeps me connected. Same for you. You're still connected to the game.
Listen,
right?
I left the game on top. I left the game winning 2 championships in 1 year. I was playing in Serie C in Italy, and I took my team to a division where Americans weren't allowed.
Yeah.
Although I had temporary citizenship in Italy, I couldn't take advantage of playing on the team, and I looked at this as an out. I'm newly married. I got a baby on the way. Me and my wife were in Sicily. My wife is from Detroit also. And so
met her there? You knew her before?
I knew her before, and that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, we get that one on the second one.
Exactly. But I'm grateful for her because I know a lot of people don't like to see or speak well on marriage, but I truly encourage marriage.
Oh, brother, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm divorced, and I will get married again. I don't have nothing bad to say about it. Oh, no, and I got a 10-year-old daughter. I've got nothing bad to say
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
See, that was the what do you call that? That's the new addition that came from you. That's the expansion that came from you guys meeting. Look at what manifested physically. And now when you're not here, she carry your name now.
Yep.
You understand?
Yep. No, I get
just
it.
by you two coming together.
And
I didn't want to go off in a different subject.
No,
but
I want to stay on that. I see clients benefiting from you as their representation, not just because of the rooms you can get them in, but how about this?
Right.
What you can do for them in the room you're in with them. So it's not about I can get you over here, but when you have time, because it seems like you have the ability to mentor, give insight, and just kind of really slow things down for people in such a fast-paced thing. Again, another fair assessment?
Yeah, so actually I currently do that now. I just don't promote it as much. But I do have programs that's available for mentorship. For those that are interested, you can visit us at Embassy Academy, because those who are watching this, I believe, will be student athletes. We have programs that are set up for student athletes who wish to embark on scholarships here in the States. But what's special about us is that we teach them how to get international scholarships also. So just I believe that I bring value here only because we respect the colleges, we respect the universities, but it is a truly global game. And I believe that God sent me to these different countries to build these relationships so I can bring it back for those who need it here in Michigan or the USA.
And it sets you aside from your normal guys that come in, with all due respect. I mean, you bring a different presence in. Well, we got Darrin Boomer Williams right here, CEO and founder of Embassy International. You have all his information up on the screen right now. Anything you want to share before we let you get out of here? And we're definitely going to make sure we follow up some more, too.
All God's blessings to everyone that is watching this. Please use this game. The game is a gift to you. It's only a tool. It's only designed to reveal who you are as a person and to expand. This game has the possibility of taking care of you for the rest of your life, but it's going to require a lot of hard work in the beginning as a player, so that when you transition into this side, and you'll be able to do the same for others, as we are doing for you. Get a chance to follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Darrin Boomer Williams. My handle is Only One Boomer, ONLYONEBOOMER. Please send me a follow or a direct message, and I would love to stay in contact with you to help you with your international dreams and abilities.
With that, guys, can't say anything else, but thank you for being here. And
thank
SPS,
you,
we global now, baby.
Oh, yeah, we go. No, listen, I will put this in my system and press a button. It'll be in over 70 countries.
Wow.
With a button.
Well, that button about to get pushed.
We're going to push the button.
We're going to go for the ride. With that being said, we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you guys for having me. Peace.
Yep.
All right.